Yoo-hoo! It's the time for package from China. So when we're going to deep dive into the Chinese handhelds on AliExpress, oh man, it's just a rabbit hole if you ask me. And this is a great example what I mean with this. I ordered myself the cool Baby RS55. And what did I receive? The GameSir Handheld console. It's super confusing, and this is just a great example to see that they are just relabeling devices. They call them their own, but in the end it's just something completely different, or there's one manufacturer that's making this handheld. This device can be bought in blue, grey and yellow, and I ordered myself the yellow one. I think it's the most awesome color. It's combined with the black buttons, I just like it. But what are we going to get inside is the console, the charging cable, the user manual and the earphones. It's quite surprising that they're still giving us these crappy earphones because they are freaking horrible. But there's very interesting information here on the box. What you can see is that we're having here the GameSir, and that's the original product. And I hope you can see it, that's the GC1. So that's basically the original product, and that's another cool Baby RS55. Alright, so I already mentioned that what we're going to get inside the box. We're going to get the toilet paper manual deluxe edition, and it also has more like the original manufacturer on what it basically is. So what you're going to get is like different video formats that are supporting music. We can watch a pretty picture, sound effects, music playing. Display is a 3.5-inch HD full view IPS screen. That is something I don't believe, because it is almost not possible for the money, and that we're going to check out. Grab your headphones, and don't forget we're going to get a mini USB. Seriously, still a mini USB. But let's take a close look at the handheld, because this thing is quite interesting. The first thing I liked about this is more like the way how it looked. It's completely different. It is nothing like your typical handheld from China, and I can really appreciate it. But the question remains, how good is it? So to begin with, the D-pad. Yeah, my personal D-pad fetish, because I'm a D-pad guy and it needs to be good. And I can tell you, it is good. Yeah, the travel itself, it's not very long and it feels very sturdy. Played some games with it and I like it. So the A, B and the X and Y, a little bit weird how they position them. Simply because they are so tiny, man. They're really tiny buttons. They got on cheap, very long travel. Click to, let's say, the rockers, the two 3D rockers, they like to call them in China. But I'm just going to say analog stick, like the slider joystick from the PlayStation Portable, then more like the cheap, horrible editions. We're having here the select and start. At the top we're going to get volume control, of course. We're going to get the on and off. We're having here the CF input for the card, on and off switch, and very cheap clickish shoulder buttons. So there is no removable battery. Nope, we need to open it up and rip it apart. But there is one thing I do like about this handheld, and that is more like the tiny speaker. Yeah, there is only one of them, and I'm a little bit bummer. It's just a big bummer with this always. Like, why are they not giving like the two good stereo speakers? But there is one thing, is that this thing sounds quite good. Quite? I want to say, it sounds really good. Okay, so we already talked about the brand and of course the model number. Here is some more information. The battery in this machine is 400 milliamp, and holy crap, that is not a lot. It will give you maybe like 2 or 3 hours of gameplay, and maybe even less. Man, oh man, oh man, that is not that great. Alright, so the first thing I'm noticing is that this thing is super lightweighted, so I wanted to just see how it is. Holy crap, this thing is 160 gram, so it is feeling really cheap. But on the other hand, it is really lightweighted. It's more like light of a feather. But nevertheless, yeah, if you like lightweighted devices and it needs to be a little bit sturdy, I can tell it's not bad at all. But only 116 the grams, that is not a lot. But let's talk about the display itself. A 3.8 inch, and they're saying it's an IPS. So I must say it doesn't look that bad. But it is certainly not an IPS. Yeah, the cake is a lie, quoting Portal. So, but then overall, it's not that super bad displays I have seen before. But yeah, again, you're not paying a lot of money for this device, so I was not surprised. Another thing that I don't like about this, or it's more like a mix, somebody likes it, somebody don't, is that when you're looking at it, there is quite a lot of space between the plastic screen and the display itself. But let's take a close look at the menu, because I'm very curious what you're going to get with this. For the people who are familiar to my channel and familiar to the China product, they maybe have seen this shiny menu before. Yep, it's the same freaking software. But I already noticed, and this is more like a quick spoiler, there are some changes. Not only the thumbnail they changed it out, but I noticed that the gameplay is slightly different and here and there better. To begin with, let's say the Mega Drive. Because the Mega Drive, they managed to fix a lot of things. Also, we have no back button, but we can press select and start. There are some minor, let's say, issues I found with the previous model they seem to be fixing. So, you're listening after all. So with the settings, we're going to get like display, power setting, language, advanced settings. You can mess around with your SD card or format it, don't do that. Otherwise you're going to mess up your system. But also quite interesting, this thing also has a quick load, quick save and aspect ratio change, like all the previous models. Every time when you're going to boot up a system, it's going to ask you to restart. Yeah, quite interesting, but there's no like continue or new game. Here we're having the load progress or the quick load, quick save. With the settings, we can basically put it in different aspect ratios, but it doesn't work that great simply because when you're looking at, let's say, the Game Boy Advance, you're going to get this very tiny screen, so that is not perfect. Another thing that I had an issue with were the mapping of the buttons. They're missing out the C button, but I already played some on this handheld and you can see all the buttons are here and they mapped it correctly. So I'm very pleased to see they fixed the Sega Mega Drive emulator. But how does it run? I must say that some of these emulators don't have a lot of audio, but when I'm looking at this game, it runs not bad at all. Yep, I did it again. Well, we can check out how the sound effects are. So the sound effects of this Super Tag are all here. But it's kind of weird thing is that they mapped the jump button over here, but not, to be honest, not bad. Okay, what the hell was that? More like he was having this enormous fart moment. Okay, so another weird thing is like the analog sticks are pretty pointless, where this thing works, but you can see that this doesn't do anything. But they mapped it more like to the buttons over here, like the same stuff. I have no idea why they keep doing that. I'm more like, put the D-pad over here, give the stupid analog stick position over here and just give us 6 buttons or do something different with the layout, because this is freaking annoying. But the gameplay itself is not bad at all. So drop it in the comments, what do you think of it? Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Just want to try a different game. There is still hope for these cheap Chinese handhelds.
Adventure Island 2.
Why does the thing go so loud? Sound is not that bad, man. I don't want a weapon, I want to punch you in the face. Oh, that's how it works. Get out your fucking chair, come on. I want to punch you in the face. Never knew that the game was so aggressive, man. Where's hopping and throwing extra snails? What happened to that? But nevertheless, I just wanted to do a quick check and seems to be sounding good. That is not good. That is not good. Okay, let's boot up the game itself. Oh boy. It's still playable, but it's not the normal FPS we want to see. Cha-la-tot, la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Double punch, people. Beefcake and dinos. Let's go. I love this freaking D-pad. It plays amazing.
This D-pad here, it's gonna show you dynamite. Come on, Bobby, blow it up. Boom, shakalaka.
But so far so good. I have seen some... Okay guys, so that concludes this review of the GameSir, or called by Cool Baby. By the way, if you're searching the name, you will not even find it. Maybe in the future, but not while I was making this video. Okay, so what do I think of this? So it's an overall a cheap device. So with this cheap device from China, it's always more like a mixed bag. If it comes to the emulation, or if it comes to the game support, or the things you can do with it. So to begin with, we cannot change or remove apps. It's more like what you see, what you're going to get. You can add games. It's a little bit tricky. I did some tutorials like with the X16. It's not the same software. They did some minor improvements, like this time we got on a slightly better display. The emulation is here and there improved, but in overall it's still a mixed bag. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you, will be great, in the next video.